Hi everyone, Dr. Susan Brown at Alkaline for Life and BetterBones.com. I'm here with my weekly three interesting research articles I want to share with you this week. Two of them have to do with big data. You know, today with artificial intelligence and all the computerized capacity we have, we're collecting very big data. Look at large groups of populations, see what's happening with their health, and try to correlate that. Now, what's important about the big data is it's just correlations. It's not a cause and effect study. But I'm going to show you two interesting correlations that came up recently. One is a Spanish study that looked at people who lived near green areas. In other words, if your house was in 300 meters of a green area, of some trees, of some green space, these people actually had a 16% reduction in the incidence of stroke. And that's kind of significant. You say there's a correlation between living around green area, less stroke. And it seems to do, the researchers are speculating that it has to do with the ability of these green plants to detoxify some of the pollutants, particularly from automobiles. Green space is good for us. We've known that. This is the spring. I personally get outside as much as I can. I hope you also do the same. You'll be better for it. The second big data study has to do with alcohol in the brain. And this was a study at the University of Pennsylvania looking at 36,000 adults. Now, we've known for decades that heavy alcohol drinking doesn't really go well with the brain, and then it leads to cognitive decline. So these researchers said, well, what about moderate alcohol? What about 1 or 2 drinks, 3 drinks a day? Is that going to affect the brain? Now, remember, again, this is big data. It's not a clinical trial, but 36,000 people, they found that those people who tended to drink more had more cognitive decline, and particularly as you move from 1 alcoholic drink a day to 2, there was a significant increase. And in fact, what they say, the change in brain volume as you went from 1 alcoholic drink to 2 was the equivalent of 2 years of brain aging. So for those of us that want to live a nice long time and have our brain totally in good function, probably a wise idea to think a bit about the alcohol. Go a little easy on the alcohol. Study from the University of Pennsylvania, another big data. The next study is not about big data, but it's about the magic of sound. Now, this was an Australian study that was looking at stem cells. You know, stem cells are those cells that are one little cell that can turn into another type of cell. And some stem cells can turn into any type of cell the body needs. In this case, what the researchers did is they took human fat, they took the stem cells out of there, and they exposed those stem cells to a particular frequency of sound. With that sound, they were able to cause that stem cell to morph from a simple fat stem cell to a bone-building cell. Now, this is kind of magic, and I think we're going to see a lot, of course, about the future of stem cell therapy. Interesting thing, pay attention to, and it speaks to me about the influence of music and vibration. The fact that ancient cultures chanted, had prayers they sung, all these set a particular vibration which has an effect on the body. We're going to have some fun with stem cells as we go along. If you're interested in bone health, by the way, I'd say jump onto our retreat. We're doing it again in June. This is a 4-day event where I teach everything we have learned over the decades on bone health, including the topic of stem cell therapy for bone health. So join us in June if you can. In the meantime, have a great week, and I'll see you next week.